Hi guys, Kevin James Bennett. I'm here to talk to you about something that is near and dear to my makeup artist heart. Foundation, complexion. Some of you might know me. My nickname is Blenderella because I'm obsessed with skin. RCMA has been with me my entire career. It's been around for over 50 years. For a product that's been around for that long, it is so current. It's killer. This is a cream foundation that has 50% pigment in it. 50%, that's like crazy amounts of pigment. It is made with nothing but plant waxes, plant seed oils, no mineral, it's vegan, and it comes in these gorgeous palettes of amazing colors. These two palettes are all you need to do global skin tones. And that's something else we're going to talk about today. The fact that RCMA for over 50 years has catered to everyone's skin. These palettes, because of the fact that they have all different colors also, this is blush. It's nothing but pigment, wax, and oil, which means they can be used as foundations, highlights, contours, blushes, lip colors, whatever you need to do, special effects. I mean, whatever you need to do, this is what you need to have. What I love the most about using RCMA foundations and cream colors is they work in every media format. I can be doing photography work, I can be doing film work, I can be doing HD video work. It doesn't matter. They always work for me and not against me. So we're gonna spend some time today and I'm gonna show you exactly how to use RCMA foundation because a lot of you out there are a little bit perplexed because of the fact that it is so industrial strength and so fabulous. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks on how to make it work in a number of different ways, but my favorite way, which is doing gorgeous complexion. So are you ready to play? I am. One of the first things I'm going to use is something called Pre-Foundation Moisture Lotion. I like to get a nice glom of it on my hand, and then I take a Q-tip and I put a bunch of it on the skin. You could also, if you want to, you could use your fingers, but I like to dot it on kind of thick, almost mask-like. And then what I do is I take a clean, dry complexion brush and I blend it in to the skin. You're better off using a synthetic brush when you do this. Actually, you're better off using synthetic brushes in general when you're doing foundation work because you're working with a cream product. I'm also not a fan of applying the product to the brush. I would rather get the product on the skin, on the hand, warmed up before I apply it to the skin. So now I'm going to let this sit for a couple of seconds, but I mean, look at how beautiful that just goes right into the skin. It doesn't leave a greasy residue on the surface, and it preps the skin perfectly to accept the foundation. So guys, we're going to talk about how to apply RCMA, because some of you out there seem to not have a grip on this, or you seem intimidated. Don't feel bad. It's got a learning curve. I'm going to be honest with you. When you have a product that has this much pigment in it, that has this much power behind it, you have to learn how to use it correctly. Now, there are a number of ways you can use it. You don't have to do everything according to the rules, because we're doing makeup. There are really no rules. But what you do have to do with this foundation is you have to warm it up. It's in a wax base, it's got a lot of pigment in it, you've got to get it a little bit closer to body temperature to spread correctly. So what you could do is you'll go into your palette, you'll scrape a little bit off. Now you have choices. You can either take your palette knife, mix it with your finger on the palette knife, mix it on the back of your hand. You can get a wax paper palette, you can get a stainless steel palette, however you want to do it, but the thing is you do have to warm the product up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple of colors here, and this is the best palette that any makeup artist ever had, and I'm going to warm my foundation up. See, rub, 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 rub. I like to take small amounts of the foundation and pat it onto the skin. Again, I don't put my product directly on the instrument that I'm going to apply or blend with. Then I take a clean, dry brush and I start blending it out. Now you're probably saying, well, what about if I need extra coverage? This goes back to the same old school rule. A couple of thin coats are much better than one heavy coat. What's wonderful about RCMA foundation is it can layer beautifully. You can do as much coverage as you want. You can get it as sheer as you want. You don't have to carry a sheer foundation, a liquid foundation, a cream foundation, a heavy duty This is all one. You can make it do whatever you want. You can bend it to your will. So I've got the foundation on, and I'm looking and I'm saying, okay, I need a little bit more here, a little bit more there, maybe a spot there, and then you're blending with your dry brush. Now there's another technique that I love where take your foundation, pat it on the skin. Notice I'm using my ring finger, right? Anybody know why you use your ring finger? You use your ring finger because you tap much more gently. You don't want to poke somebody in the face. So it's always easier to use your ring finger. And then what you do is after you've patted the foundation on, you take a setting spray. You gently mist your brush. And then you blend it out with a gently misted brush. I know a lot of you want to use a damp sponge. This is a wax-based formula. Wax and water don't play well together, okay guys? You're better off using a product that is made to thin the product out. This is also an amazing technique for keeping foundation or concealer from creasing under the eye because it sort of self-sets it. Now, I think I mentioned before that this has insane coverage. A lot of times you might want to have a sheer foundation. You don't have to carry a separate product. RCMA also makes a liquid thinner that can turn this into a fluid foundation if you want, and they also have a clear. The clear is actually the foundation that you're using with no pigment in it. So you're actually using the base of the foundation to thin it out. So you can make a sheer cream foundation out of this, or you can make a sheer liquid foundation out of this. So you've got all these options on how to do your application, which I find very refreshing because I don't have to break my back carrying 5 million products. I carry my RCMA palette with me and it does everything and anything I need. It's just easier. Don't you like easy? I like easy. You like easy. A little pink egg. Yes, the Beauty Blender. We love this product. It's amazing. Again, I don't suggest that you put the product directly on the Beauty Blender. What I suggest you do is you put the product on the skin, take the clean Beauty Blender, and then just blend it out. So this way you decide how much coverage you want. You can layer as much coverage as you need, and you're not wasting a lot of your product inside the sponge. I need to address something. I mean, we're close. We're family by now, right? There's this phenomenon going on. Everybody is obsessed with highlighting and contouring their skin now, thanks to a lovely Miss Kim K. Kardashian. The guys at RCMA are so smart. This is the highlight contour palette. The colors are absolutely brilliant. Let me just show you what it can do. I'm taking a little bit of color. Notice again, I'm warming the product up. That's very important. You want to warm the product up on your hand or somewhere. I'm mixing together a little bit of the pale yellow and a little bit of the pale pink. I'm going right into the V of the face. I'm doing this almost an inverted triangle right there. You've seen everybody do these in the videos. Difference being, not everybody's using the right colors. These are perfectly calibrated to highlight and contour. Perfectly calibrated. Because they were developed knowing that they would be used probably in HD. So they had to look real. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm standing here talking, just like minding my own business, hanging out with you. Look at how quick that went on and look at how gorgeous it looks. I mean, how easy is this? They took all the guesswork out of it for you by putting everything in one palette. It's so smart. So yeah, and that does look really good, doesn't it? Gosh. Or if you want to, you don't even have to go in with a brush. Again, tool of choice. You can go in with your fingers, pat the product on, and you see I'm using a generous amount. I am not being very cautious about this. I'm putting a little dab right there, maybe a little bit down the nose, a little bit in the center of the forehead. Now this is what's amazing about this product. Now we're not even going to use the brush this time. We're going to go and we're going to play with our egg again. So we're switching tools. We just keep on using whatever we want to use. Just go in and look at this. Just blends this out. I mean, it's so easy. I don't understand why anybody would think that this is a hard product to use. This is a very simple product to use, and it gives you so much power over how your makeup looks. The finished product ends up being so pretty. Look at that. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Now, I know everybody loves a full-on glamour look. We're going to talk about how to contour correctly, okay? There are rules, guys, and you know me and rules. I don't follow them. Yes, well, yeah, no, I don't. Now, I want you to look. You're following. Do a little, suck those cheeks in. See that? Do it again. See this line right here? That's the contour line. You're going to start back here. You're going to pat the product on, and you're going to stop at the outside corner of the eye, okay? You're going to take the product. You're going to pat it on. See this? You see where I'm putting this? And you're stopping right here, okay? Then you're going to take your brush and you're going to blend it out. But you're never going to go past this line right here, because then it's not going to be a contour, it's going to look like a bronzer. And guys, I mean, look at how brilliantly this blends in. I mean, it looks so natural. See? Look at that. Look at that. I mean, how easy was that? The color is perfectly calibrated. It's got a beautiful grayish undertone. I know when you say gray in complexion, people go, ugh. Think about it. When a shadow is on your face, it is your skin color mixed with gray. It's a shadow. So if you're using a contour color, it should have a grayish tone to it. It should not be a bronzer with a yellow tone or an orange tone or any other color. It needs to be neutral. Look at how natural that looks. Totally natural. And these colors, I mean, all the colors are calibrated to do that brilliantly. You want a harder contour? Sure. We're going to take the darker color. This is how forgiving these products are. Warm it up. Again, warming it up, very important. On this side, I'm going to do the same thing. Suck the cheeks in. Okay, I'm following that line right there. I'm not going past the outside of the eye. Now, take a look at how dark that is. I mean, that's like, wow, okay. And always, guys, remember, blend back toward the ears. You've got to catch those spaces also when you're doing contour. You don't want to see that hard edge. Look at that. Remember the light color we put under? You want to really carve out a cheek. Take a little bit of that light color. See where you did your contour? Go right below it. Blend down, and then drag the darker color through it. So what you do is you're actually getting a fade from light to dark to light again. It's basically carving a contour into the face. But because these colors are calibrated so beautifully, I mean, look at that. It just sort of like melds right into the skin. One of the other things I love about RCMA products are, once you get them on the skin, you can still manipulate them. What I like to do is once I get all of my highlight, my contour, my foundation, my concealer on, is I like to take, believe it or not, a nice big fluffy, clean, dry synthetic brush and just buff it out so everything goes into one smooth finish. See, this is the beauty of working with a wax-based product. you have playtime. It doesn't set until you set it. So you can do as much or as little as you want. You can adjust the coverage on the face. You could use the actual face as your palette, which is wonderful. You could just, it's very artist friendly. You can actually do your art on that face and not have any limitations because you can adjust as you're going along, which is great. So we've already discussed how brilliant the highlight and contour palette is, how the foundation palettes have all the colors you need. These overachievers decided to do another brilliant palette, and that would be the blush palette. We love this blush palette because I think I mentioned earlier, this product has 50% pigment in it, and it's in a wax base. So basically what it is it's just color cream. So not only can we use this, what color shall we use on you today? Let's think. Okay, we're doing natural. Let's do something pretty and soft. These colors are gorgeous, by the way. They're just stunning. They're just so nice and soft and pretty. So we're going to take a little bit, and what are we going to do? We're going to warm it up because that's the way that this works. And we're going to take a little bit, and this is what I love. You're like, oh, Kevin, what the heck have you done? Look at that. Too much, too much. Not at all. Now I smooth it out with my foundation brush, then I take a nice fluffy dry brush, dry brushing. This is a very artist, like fine art technique. Dry brushing is the best thing in the world when you're working with cream makeup. Because now what I can do is I can smooth out my edges and buff this out, and what looked like way too much before is a whole lot of gorgeous now, right? How easy was that? It's kind of funny that a product that has this much power can be so foolproof. So, I mean, again, let's try it again. We just go in and we do a little Ringling Brothers clown makeup there. Blend it with our foundation brush, and then buff the edges out with a dry brush. And look at that. Now, here's the fun part. I think we've already discussed how many times that this is what? 50% P-word pigment in a beautiful plant seed oil and wax base. Now, wait a minute. If I'm not mistaken, what is lipstick made out of? Pigment, wax, and oils? So how brilliant that I can take the same product that I've used on the cheek and apply it to conditioned lips as a color. Give me a little mush. What could be better? What could be easier? And as if I didn't give you enough ways to use these products, I'm going to give you more. Remember we talked about the color free? It's basically the foundation product or the cream color product base without pigment in it, which means it is nothing but vegetable and plant oils and waxes. Wait a minute. What are lip conditioners made out of? So we've already used the blush to make our lip color. We want to give it a little bit of a soft sheen. Put a little bit of the clear over the top of it, and you've got that gorgeous, and I'm going to use the M word now, soft matte. Also, what's brilliant about this product, how many of you do men's grooming? It's amazing. Lip balm on the guys, because it's not glossy. Now we're going to talk about a product that is near and dear to my heart. This is RCMA No Color Powder. What is it? What did I just say? You're not paying attention. No color. Well, why is that important, Kevin? Well, let me give you an example. When you're using a tinted powder that has color in it, you are then adding additional color to the skin that you're powdering. Now, if you've spent all this time doing a perfect foundation match and all this highlighting, contouring, blush, all these gorgeous colors that you want, putting a colored or tinted powder on top of it is going to change all that work. This is why you need a no color powder. There's no pigment in this powder. So what happens is it sets what you've done and does not change a thing. The other thing I love about the no color powder is, well, what do we use powder for? We use powder to knock back oil shine on skin, correct? Think about paper bags, okay? If you've got a brown paper bag, it's got pigment, it's made brown. When you put a drop of oil on that brown paper bag, you get a dark, nasty brown stain on it, which means that pigments have been activated in that bag. When you put a drop of oil on a white paper bag, it goes transparent. So you can use no color powder over and over and over through a shoot, and no matter how many times you touch up, your original foundation and complexion work is never going to change color because the oil coming through will not disturb or darken the skin. Now, the best way to apply the no color powder is to load the top of your brush, give it a little tap, let the powder sink into the fibers of the brush, and then you just smooth it right over the skin. Now, what I love the most about this is highly, highly, highly refined talc. So you don't get particle depth even in HD. And look at how beautiful that is. It doesn't look dry, it doesn't look overly matte, it just looks like beautiful, soft, satiny skin. And the foundation color is not altered in any way. Now, those of you that are worried about using a white powder on darker skins, all you have to do is after you apply the powder, if you see any residue, close your eyes please, go in with a fixing spray or an Evian mist or something and just reactivate the powder and you will get rid of the white cast. But this is a powder that can be used on any skin, from the very lightest to the very darkest, so don't be worried about it.